Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Generate Remarkable Engagement and Web Traffic. My name is Colin Mahan, and I'm the Director of Programs at the NASDAQ Entrepreneurial Center. And for those of you who may not know, the NASDAQ Center is a nonprofit that's building a better path for entrepreneurs worldwide by improving inclusion, access, and knowledge in entrepreneurship. As you're going to see in the chat in just a moment, the NASDAQ Center provides programs, resources, and exceptional mentorship to entrepreneurs across all races, industries, and geographies. So check out those links and resources in the chat. Now, before we get started, firstly, let us know where you're dialing in from in the chat. See if you've got a neighbor. Secondly, we're going to open up for live Q&A near the end of the event. So please submit those questions for us in the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen throughout the presentation. We'll try our best to get to them all. Now, none of what we do here at the center would be possible without all of the amazing support from our sponsors, including NASDAQ, Lehigh University, BMO, Airbnb, KPMG, Wilson Sonsini, Woodruff Sawyer, Microsoft Entrepreneurship for Positive Impact, BPM, and HubSpot for Startups. We're humbled by their contributions and hope you're grateful too. Now, before we get started, I'm going to launch a few polls to get a gauge on how we're all feeling today about our businesses. First poll is, how are you feeling about your business? So are you optimistic, in survival mode? Let us know. All right, let's see where we're dialing in from. South Florida, North Carolina. All right, Fort Worth, Texas. Howdy from New Jersey. All right, Houston, Texas, California. Let's see. All right, Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I grew up. All righty, awesome. Atlanta. I'm going to share these results, and looks like everyone's feeling pretty optimistic today, which is great news. I'm going to launch one last poll, which is what's keeping you up at night. Jackson, Mississippi. Nice. Welcome. This poll helps our team understand what we should be providing you, the entrepreneurs that we serve. So what sort of content, programs, curriculum would you like us to develop in the coming months? Let us know. Las Cruces, New Mexico. All right. Cleveland, Ohio. Hey, Chanel, New York. All right. Love it. Okay. Looks like marketing's in the lead, which is our topic for today. So I know you will be very excited to hear, and hopefully we'll sleep better. So without any further delay, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our special guest, Genesis A. Emery-Foley, published entrepreneur, national speaker, and founder and chief marketing officer at the Blueprint Haus Agency. She has over 15 years of entrepreneurship, digital marketing, corporate brand communications, and public relations experience. Genesis recently cultivates and nurtures stakeholder relationships, develops multi-channel digital marketing campaigns to generate awareness and brand reach, and creates holistic marketing communication strategies to optimize growth, brand positioning, and in-market performance for growing startups ready to scale and forge meaningful change. Her recognized talents and impact business leadership has led to national media attention on platforms such as ABC, Fox, NBC, CBS, Right This Minute, and many more. In addition, Genesis has been highlighted as a speaker, panelist, guest lecturer in many of the largest global corporations, including IBM, Dell, LinkedIn, and very prestigious academic institutions, including Loyola University College, University of California, Berkeley, Roosevelt University, and Morehouse College, and in conferences such as Black Tech Week, Women's Chicago Leadership Summit, MommyCon, Brave and Broken, and the Mamas Making Money Conference, and the Success Junkie, and others. Welcome, Genesis. Looking forward to learning from you.
All right. Hi, everybody. Are you ready to get started?
So ready for this. Thanks again, and over to you.
All right. Let me just share my screen here. Let's see. All the fun stuff. All right, there we go. So as you guys know, and thank you for the introduction, by the way, I'm Genesis. So I'm the founder and chief marketing officer of the Blueprint Haus Agency. It's an integrated digital marketing and startup development agency that partners with startups, entrepreneurs, and small to mid-sized businesses. So I help with everything from driving growth, teaching startups how to scale and drive profitability, and also helping them to reach their ideal target audience based on different tactics that we use in digital marketing communications. So today we're going to talk about generating engagement and web traffic. It's something that is very complex, but I'm going to give you guys the steps and tools to teach you all how to do it effectively so you all can grow your startups long term. And I'll also teach you as well 2 different ways you all can galvanize your community, also build community buy-in, create opportunities to grow your thought leadership presence, and essentially brand build in ways that will help you rank competitively against your target audience competitors and also drive revenue. All right. So thanks again for joining me today. So the first thing I want to teach you about is an introduction to digital marketing. Digital marketing is essentially a way of how we market in today's modern age. Yes, traditional marketing is still important, but nonetheless, if you are a startup with a fintech company and you're trying to reach someone in Japan, you're not going to physically walk across the street to go to his house and let him know what you're doing and what your product or service offers, right? So in order to reach people, we have to find them using digital channels and also measure our performance to see how well what we're doing is working so we can make the most informed marketing decisions and build relationships and nurture our customers along the way. So with digital marketing, it's essentially our form of how we're going to market a product or service using a variety of digital channels with proven tactics at each stage of the funnel. And we'll talk about that. Digital marketing will help us to drive brand awareness, measure performance, and also boost our conversion rates. And for me, I use digital marketing and communications every day as a part of my role as a CMO and an accelerator for startups. With digital marketing, these are the types of things that we're going to be focusing on. So we've got SEO, website, social media, paid search, email, content, research, analysis, and data. So that's essentially our landscape. And then we have many pieces of digital marketing as far as what we'll do within that landscape. So in that, we have things like content marketing, pay-per-click, search engine optimization, social media marketing, email marketing, and affiliate marketing. Now, keep in mind, this is something that I get asked by clients all the time. A lot of the early age startups that are still growing that don't have marketing experience, but are trying to reach a particular audience and drive revenue, they'll ask me, hey, Genesis, should I focus on content marketing first? Or should I focus on SEO? Or should I go the pay-per-click route? Or should I focus on email marketing? The answer is all of the above. Marketing is an overarching holistic approach that requires a strategy. So it's very integrated, it's very strategic, and it's very insightful. There's not really a one shoe size fit thing type of situation, and it's not one takes precedence over the other. They're all equally important, and you want to do them all. Even if you can't do them all exactly at the same time, with this approach is going to give you longevity and essentially boost your results if you take time to utilize all these different tactics across these channels. Because remember, you're not going to find everyone in pay-per-click advertising. You're not going to reach every single person you're trying to reach through SEO. You're not going to be able to reach all of your leads through email marketing, but you will be able to create audiences and build community using these different steps and tactics where you have a higher opportunity to reach these people and to nurture those relationships along the way. So our job as marketers is to find people. It's also to build a relationship. It's to uncover their needs where we can utilize our product or service to offer them a solution and address their pain points. And the most important thing is to basically be their friend. Marketing is not about us. It's about the individuals that we serve in our community. And in your case, that is your lead, right? Those are your leads. So this here is super important. I teach this in business schools across the country, and I also teach it to startups. This is the digital channel mix. So it gives you a step-by-step approach as far as how the elements of the digital strategy work together to drive conversions. So this here is the ideal or the dream. It doesn't always happen like this, but this is how we use these digital channels at each stage of the funnel. So as an example, at the awareness stage of the funnel, people are first starting to interact with your brand and they're learning about it. They haven't considered you yet. They're not thinking about making a purchase yet, and they're not sold. And remember, marketing is like a dating relationship. That's the fun analogy I like to use. If I'm going to go on a date with somebody, I'm not saying I do to anybody or signing the dotted line or wearing anybody's ring until I have a chance to get to know you first. Marketing works the same way. We have to drive awareness so people can resonate and understand what it is that you offer to see if it's the best fit for them. So at the awareness stage of the funnel, we're going to do things like social media. So that's why we have a Facebook icon here. So we're sharing awareness through social with our content strategy. We can also utilize display ads. We can utilize SEO, and we can also utilize paid search. So those are ways where people can start to interact with your brands and they see visibility around your brand based on what you're putting out there in the world. The consideration stage essentially talks about how people can consider your brand based on what you're sharing with them. So as an example, you can show ebooks, you can promote your blog, your podcast, your social media content, your website, and also email marketing. Those are things at the consideration stage so people can get to know your brand and decide whether or not they want to become a customer and essentially be a lead of your business and move down the funnel process. The purchase stage is the website. That's our number one hub. We own it. It's ours. We own the data. We own the leads. So our job here is to bring our leads, otherwise known as our target customers or prospects, from the awareness stage all the way down to advocacy. So after this purchase stage, we want to retain these clients or customers. It's not just about a one-step transactional situation or a quick lemonade stand thing. It's about retaining people. So once I get them to my website, I want them to come back. I want them to subscribe to my email list. I want them to share the great things I'm doing with their friends and family, and also by sharing reviews online and writing testimonials because they've had a wonderful customer experience with me. And I also want them to stay connected to what it is I'm sharing. So if they're a part of my email community, like you see here, they can subscribe to my list, they can receive updates and promotions, they can be a part of my exclusive hub for all the things that I do, and they're essentially loyalists. If they become loyalists and essentially brand evangelists, they will be more likely to share this work with their friends and family and become advocates for me. Okay, so that's how that works at each stage of the funnel. And then here, this is the customer journey. So this is what usually happens. This is the ideal dream. This is the reality. So the customer journey is that at the awareness stage, we're promoting ads. We've got social media going. We're getting into consideration for email, reviews, blogs, media. We're coming down to the purchase where there may be a store or a website or e-commerce shop. And then we're going to bring them over to the retention. So that's loyalty, newsletter, being a part of our community, saying subscribe to our blog, and then again, sharing the great work from our company across social media through word of mouth and brand evangelism. So this is how this works, just so you guys have a foundation of digital marketing in the essence of it, so you can create an overarching strategy to help you in the journey. And then from there, we've got what's a digital marketing strategy. So as we just covered, your digital marketing strategy essentially aligns actions on your digital channels with your business goals. So if your business goal is to grow your company sales by 65%, what channels do you belong on in order to do that? It's going to be very holistic and overarching. It's not just going to be email. It's going to be email, social, your SEO, your thought leadership, speaking engagements, content development, maybe mobile applications, affiliate marketing, and the list goes on. So the question for you that I challenge you with today is, what digital channels should you use in your startup or your growing business to implement your overall strategy to drive the most results and growth and boost your performance? And where are your customers? Because remember, we want to be where our customers are. In traditional marketing, we usually would have cars that we see on commercials driving past the billboard down the highway. And that's wonderful. We have our wonderful startup on our billboard ad, but who's going to see it? Only the people that happen to drive past it. But what about everybody else? So that's where digital channels come in. Next, we've got the importance of website traffic, which is one of the reasons why you guys came here today. Here's why website traffic is important. Number one, as I mentioned, it's our hub. We own it. It's our number one priority channel. It's something that we can own for leads and data, and we can optimize it as much or little as we want to, although we should always want to optimize our website. The purpose of website traffic is to maximize visibility. So we want to bring as many leads to our website as possible. We don't want to leave any money on the table. So anybody that comes to our website, we want them to stay there and stay locked in, because we're creating quality content and compelling call to actions and headlines to keep them engaged and to get them to buy something. But if they don't know that we exist, they're not going to come. So maximizing visibility and also generating leads. We also want to improve our chances of increasing conversions. And there's so many ways to do that, which we'll talk about today. And when they get to that website, we want to also grow our email subscriber community. So I believe for websites, it's not just about getting someone to land on your page one time. I want them to stay connected with me. I'm kind of greedy, just so you know. So when they get to that website, it's about how can I get them to come back? They explored my website, they searched my content, they found me, they learned about my business. I want them to come back and buy something else. I want them to share the word about my company with their family and their friends. I want them to click on my incentive or my clickbait, like my ebook, or subscribe to my email list. And I want them to consider my brand as the brand of choice when they need something in XYZ space, right? Because I'm the solution for that and the authority as I'm building this brand. So think about websites as it's not a one-stop shop to just come there one time. It's an experience, and it's a part of nurturing that relationship with your leads. When you're driving website traffic, these are all the things that you'll want to consider. Email marketing, social networks, also known as social media, SEO, forums, blogs, banner networks, search engine, and online advertising. So remember, website traffic driving is not just about telling people to come to the website, it's keeping them there on that site. And it's finding different channels and approaches to drive that traffic to the site. So it's a variety of different things that we do in order to make that happen. And we'll talk about that too. Number one, for email marketing, that's one of the best ways to drive traffic to a website. Email marketing is powerful, and I love it so much because it allows me to not only build, but nurture relationships with prospects that are in my funnel, as well as existing customers. 78% of marketers say that email is important to the overall company's success, according to HubSpot, because you can go back, you can re-engage contacts. You can also reach out to customers that have gone to your website to attempt to make a purchase, but they may have abandoned their cart. You can go back and remind them, hey, I saw you getting ready to buy a pair of shoes that we offer on our site, but you didn't make the purchase. Here's a 10% discount to help move the needle. Or don't forget about that coat you were looking at about 10 minutes ago. Time is running out fast. We only have about 5 left in our inventory. There's all these tricks and tools you can use to keep people engaged and to get them to do what you want them to do through email. It also keeps your brand at the top of mind. We don't want to spam anybody, of course, because that gives us a bad email reputation, which affects our overall quality of our company. However, we do want to engage our contacts through email marketing and essentially utilize it as a tool to drive growth and relationships and uncover opportunities for us to drive conversions. With email marketing, as far as driving visitors to the site, one great tool I'd recommend is lead generation through social media awareness campaigns, otherwise known as ad campaigns. And what you can do is run a lead generation social media ad campaign that will attract prospective leads. So you can literally create an enticing incentive, such as an ebook or a downloadable DEI report. Those are very popular now. You can link to an event registration page, or even offer a free trial to a subscription or an infographic. Once that prospect lands on that ad, they'll have an opportunity to interact with your brand at the awareness stage and consider whether or not they want to click further so they can learn more about the product and service, and also receive that lead magnet, which is your incentive. So with that being said, once they click on that ad, they will have to subscribe to your email list, and then it will route them to the website so they can make a purchase. When they subscribe to your email list, you have an opportunity to go back and remarket those individuals. So that's the magic in that. I'm giving you something that you want. So here's your carrot, and I'm getting something that I want, which is your data. Your email is vital to me and gold, because I can go back and retarget you again later and consistently build this relationship with you as I'm trying to move you down the funnel to become a paying client or customer. They also get something too, because they get education or whatever it is they're looking for that your company can offer. When they click on your ad, they will automatically be directed to your landing page, which puts them on your website. Now, keep in mind, when you build your landing page should be high quality, compelling, concise, easy to digest, definitely visually captivating, and also very clear in terms of what you're offering. So think of a landing page with an immediate hook. What do you want them to do? There should be clear call to actions there that resonate with your audience's needs. And in cases where it's appropriate, it can also include a specific period of time where it's time bound and creates a sense of urgency. So remember, when you have a website, you want to keep people on your website or landing page for as long as possible. I don't want to give anybody a reason to go to my website and find a reason to leave, because that will reduce my bounce rate. So your bounce rate is when someone goes on the website and they immediately click off. I also don't want them to go on the website and they don't explore. I want you to go to other pages. I want you to click on links. I want you to follow the call to actions, and I want you to engage with the site so you can become a client or customer. But I need to have a high quality landing page in order to make that happen. If you're not interested in what you see, you're going to leave. So that's important for ads. It's also very important for SEO, and it's important to keep traffic coming to your site and to get visitors to come back and repeat. The next thing is for email. I want to send segmented emails to my subscriber list. You never want to send the same email to the same people. There's a different reason why you send different emails at different times to different folks. Again, that depends on where they are in the customer journey and the relationship. So as an example, if I'm Fashion Nova and I have a first-time customer that's come to my site for the first time and I don't already have their email address, I'm going to want to send them probably a 25% promotional code so they can utilize that and come back and shop at a later date. However, if it's already a subscribed contact that I have in my list, I don't need to send them a welcome email because they've already been welcomed. They're already a part of the community as an exclusive user. So in a case like that, I would send them regular ongoing promotions because they're a loyalist of my brand. So again, we want to make sure we send targeted emails to specific audiences as it makes sense. You also can add your website to your email signature box if you have one. And then you can also add a lead generation landing page to your social media profile. So those are some things you can do utilizing email to drive traffic to your site. So the ads, the subscriber list for segmented emails, the email signature box, and then also getting that landing page added. Now, in terms of driving returning visitors to your site, what I want to do is add a sign-up form that links to my website. So those are things that you can do for people to continue to come back and get those emails. You can use pop-up messages that generate email signups and also add sticky bars. And you can, again, add the website to your email signature box. And I'll give you an example. This company is called MedStar. So they're an integrated marketing agency specializing in private spas, and they're providers of aesthetic medicine. So they're using a Lightbox pop-up here to book more consultations from their website. So if anybody goes to their website, they're not leaving any low-hanging fruit on the table. They're taking advantage of all those leads. What they do is ask for your name and your email address and your phone number, and then you hit submit. And what happens is my sales team can go back and they can remarket you and try to get you to buy something. They're going to call you for that free consultation, but the goal is we're trying to convert you into a paying customer. So if you're on my website, that's a lead and it's an opportunity to make money, and we don't want to leave that sitting there. Here's another option right here by Gudos. They're a Spanish and Italian restaurant based in St. Louis, Missouri. And they partnered with a marketing agency to create an email pop-up box just like this. So how it works is if you order you'll get a free order of toasted ravioli when you sign up for their email list. So again, you're going to put in your information in your email list, and then that will allow your company to have your data to go back and send you offers, promotions, invites to their restaurant events, and to share the word about their company. And then you get something in return for sharing your data. As a result, from this particular approach here with this email pop-up, the company was able to convert 16.74% of their site visitors And they also added over 1,000 emails to their email list in just under 4 months. So things like this are very effective when it comes to driving growth on your website. And again, driving those qualified leads. People are coming to your site for a reason. So I would treat all of them as a potential customer because they're there because they found you and they're interested in what it is that you have to offer. This one here is a slide and scroll box pop-up, which I'll just share quickly. It's from Libertone. So they are one of the wireless speaker companies. And what they do is they slide this in to get a newsletter sign up. So when you go to their website, you can put your email address in to receive updates and exclusive offers from their product. When they did this, they were able to grow their email list by 400% and also recover 3.8% of their abandoning cart visitors, which means if anyone came to their site and they were going to buy one of the speakers, but they left their cart abandoned and didn't make the purchase, they were able to use their email to go back and retarget them, which again allows you to drive conversions and sales. And then this one here is another example from Ally Moves. So for Ally Moves, they're an at-home wellness yoga studio. What they're doing are two different things, also known as a twofer. They're showing a sponsored ad here on social media to drive traffic. So if you sign up, you'll get 50% off the membership for the first year. They also have it where once you click there, it takes you to this landing page for you to take a survey. And I love that because it gives the company an opportunity to collect data and insights. But as the potential lead, if you don't want to take the survey, you can always opt out of it and still get that 50%. But their approach is, while we have you here, why not ask you for some more information so we can utilize that to boost our marketing performance? And then next, while we're talking about social media and sponsored ads, we'll get into social media and how that can help drive traffic to your website as well, using social networks as digital channels. So for social media, I know that most companies have the desire of wanting to go viral and reach all these great people, but there's so many steps that are involved that we'll talk about today in methodologies around how to best perform on social. So I would recommend these particular steps to drive traffic to your website. Number one, set clear goals. So define your specific goals that are measurable for your social media efforts. Is it driving website traffic? Is it generating leads? Is it boosting sales? Is it selling a new product or service? Is it growing your thought leadership presence among your industry? You also want to optimize your social profiles. So ensure that your social media profiles are complete and also branded. So you'll use things like high quality profiles and cover images. You'll also include clear and concise bios and links to your website or whatever your link is that you're going to use. Even if it's Linktree, everything should be very clear and concise. You can share high quality content, which you should. So you're going to create and curate valuable content that's relevant, timely, and also shareable, where your target audience will find value in that content and they'll find it interesting. With content, our goal is to provide education. It's also to provide an experience, and it's to show credibility and trust. So we're trying to earn that. So our content should include various types of visually appealing content formats like text, images, videos, infographics. We can share blogs, and we can also leverage that content as clickbait, otherwise known as lead magnets, to drive prospective leads to our landing pages. But again, it all starts with content. And if people don't engage with our content, or they don't buy into it, or it doesn't resonate with what their needs are, they're just going to leave. So you really want to focus on putting content out there that matches what they're looking for. And I'll show you all how to do that with keywords and with research. We also want to develop a consistent posting schedule. So intermittent posts, I understand we're all busy, especially if you're running the busy startup. However, developing a consistent content posting schedule will help keep your audience engaged. And it will also establish trust because they'll know what to expect from you. And they know they can trust you for that particular type of content and go to you when they're looking for something. You also want to utilize social media management tools to plan and automate your posts. So you can use Loonly, you've got Hootsuite, and there's other platforms you can use so you don't having to do that work manually. And then use hashtags to help improve your discoverability of the content and also popular hashtags within your niche or your industry. You can literally search right on Instagram and even on LinkedIn to find what popular hashtags that people are utilizing in their content, so you can be a part of that. I would also recommend use hashtags appropriately. If you're a company focused on selling MacBooks to startup companies, don't start posting and sharing hashtags about Jada Pinkett Smith and Tupac just because it's trending right now. Yes, it's trending. Yes, it is news heavy, but it's not related to your company and it's not true and authentic to your brand. So don't try to be sneaky about it and share a hashtag just to try to get some people to see it, because once they go to your post, it's just going to turn them off. So use hashtags that are actually relevant and that are high performing and popular. Also, to engage with your audience. So respond to comments, messages, and mentions as promptly as you can. Be at the forefront of conversations and discussions. So ask questions, encourage user-generated content, encourage your audience to be a part of what you're sharing and to share their feedback as well, because you want to hear from them. Promote your blog posts and your articles. Again, those are going to be compelling. They can help create call to actions, and they can also showcase your level of knowledge and your expertise using your insight. It's also great to utilize live videos and stories. So live Q&A discussions, LinkedIn sessions, you can have live Instagrams. Those are all things that help create engagement, and that will drive people to not only your social media, but they'll also be curious enough to want to go to your website as well and learn more about your company. Collaborations with influencers and affiliate marketers are also king. So consider partnering with influencers in your industry that already have a large following and they've built a community, because they've already established trust with individuals that you're trying to reach. So I would recommend partnering with them so you can utilize their audience and also expose your brand to those larger communities and share engaging discussions with those audiences. In terms of other ways to drive traffic to your website, think about tracking, measuring, and analyzing your performance. Again, that's going to be golden when it comes to driving traffic to the site. It's not one size fits all. It's essentially how you can utilize those key metrics, those KPIs, and your targets to monitor your performance. So we're looking at engagement rates, click-through rates, and conversion rates. We also can look at how our sales are performing based on the content that we're sharing. So as an example, if I create a blog for a vegan recipe and I own a vegan restaurant, I may start to see an influx of customers coming in that wants to try a new special that we're promoting this week. You can literally utilize Google Analytics to see how your website performs based on what people are going to in the digital space. And if you're sharing high quality content, you will see those numbers increase and more traffic on the site. You also want to adapt and optimize content. So consider your strategy, the type of content that you're sharing. Consider A/B testing, try different posting times and channels, and also consider changing your call to action so you can optimize your strategy. Again, utilize email marketing in your social integration strategy, such as promoting your email newsletters and lead magnets to drive traffic to your site. Consider cross promotion to make it easy for visitors to share your content across their platforms. And again, consider building a community. So this is all about community building with individuals that are like-minded, so you can be a part of those engaging discussions and encourage them to as well. All right. So again, with social media, it takes time. It's not a overnight success story situation, but if you maintain consistency, if you research popular social media trends and hashtags and what people are looking for as far as content, it will allow you to stay ahead of social media trends and maximize your success on social. And again, don't give up and stop just because it's not performing well immediately. It does take some time. So give it a chance and consider A/B testing and always optimizing what you're doing. If you're posting content typically at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and you're not really getting engagement and you're not seeing your numbers increase and your analytics, maybe consider posting at 7:45. If your traffic is more so to find your content in the evening, try that approach. And then listen to your customers. Typically, emotional posts harness more attention and it allows opportunities for content to go viral. People don't want to hear about sad stories. They usually want to hear about something joyous that brings happiness and inspiration, and that pulls on the heartstrings in a positive, happy way. So consider sharing things like that and stay true to your brand. You're not everybody else's brand. Everybody's not your brand. So focus on where you are and what will be the best thing for you to share to drive traffic to your channels and thus your website as well as a result. Here's a cool example I want to share with you guys in terms of driving website traffic through social. Smartwool is an American company specializing in outdoor clothing and socks. And so what they did was, instead of just linking their homepage link here in their bio, they actually added a Linktree link as a landing page where people can go and they can try all these different links as far as buying something, looking at new products, company news, assessing the store locator and new arrivals, and also joining their club. So that's something you guys can utilize as well. And that will just go to your landing pages. Next, we have our fun part, search engine optimization. So this is another very effective way to drive traffic to your website through SEO and keyword optimization. And I'll show you all some tricks to use for this too. So with SEO, the practice of SEO is really about this. It optimizes your website's content and structure to rank high on search engines, also known as SERPs. And why is this important? It's important because we want people to find us. So if I'm in San Francisco looking for the best seafood restaurant that specializes in spicy crab legs with extra butter and sauce, I want to find a restaurant that's going to cater to that for me, but I don't know where to go. So that's where Google comes in. They literally will crawl websites and they will put the site that matches that search query into the results. But yet there's different steps that they utilize, and there's all these technical elements that happen behind the scenes in order for that to happen. So we'll go over that today so we can learn how to drive traffic to our website using quality content, and also on and off page SEO, technical SEO, and constant optimization. So with search engines, as I mentioned, what's happening is that search engines index your pages, and they're looking for high quality websites with high quality content and graphics. They're utilizing a bot to search the index, and then they're also employing algorithms to sift through billions of pieces of content that looks for phrases and keywords that match that search query. So again, for me, I'm looking for spicy Cajun crab legs in San Francisco with extra butter. They're going to be researching sites that sell seafood and crab legs and Cajun, and that maybe post recipes for those things and have those items on their menu. And they'll be able to match my result based on the restaurants in the area that specialize in those things. So again, we want to keep our site optimized and make sure that our content essentially matches what we want our customers to find using particular keywords, both short tail and long tail keywords. For the pillars of SEO, Google is looking for content that it can trust. So it wants to make sure you are who you say you are, and that you're sharing content that matches your website brand and essentially what it is that you do. It's also looking at architecture. So how your site is built. Is your site optimized for mobile, which is very important because most websites visits happen through mobile, not desktop. It's also looking for graphics. Do the graphics take a long time to load? Are your page load times too long? You have 2 seconds before someone will click off your website. So if somebody goes to your website and it takes your website more than 2 seconds to load, they're automatically gone most of the time. So Google looks at all of that. Does your website offer an easy to use navigational experience where it's an organization, there's a flow, the structure is clean and cohesive? If it doesn't, that can affect your SEO rankings. Google's also looking for HTML code. So those are behind the scenes language that your website will provide to search engines around the content. Trust. Can Google trust your website? As far as link building, also known as link juice or link equity, are you sharing link juice with reputable, credible sites? And then personalization. Is there a map? Is there contact information? Those are the different types of things of SEO that Google is searching for and other search engines to determine whether or not to rank your website and to show it in a search query. In terms of other things, people want to stay in business by showing people that they can provide the best web pages to answer their questions and meet their needs. by using SEO. So again, Google's looking at, do people stay on the page? Is the website updated regularly and optimized? Is there multimedia content available on the site that they can engage with? Does the engagement on the page show that the site is easy to use? And again, are those backlinks credible? So that's how search engines work in a nutshell to determine your SEO rankings. And SEO rankings can change. You could be #1 today, and in 2 weeks, you're down to page 10 as an example. So it's always important to keep that SEO strategy going, as it is a long-term ongoing strategy. For on-page SEO, these are the things I typically do on a daily basis. And these are things that happen on your website. So it's keyword researching and finding keywords that are relevant to your content. It's also keyword optimization. So crafting high quality, relevant content that's engaging. It's also utilizing those title tags and meta descriptions. So you want to create compelling titles and descriptions that entice clicks. You'll need header tags for your content, images and alt tags. So your images should all have alt tags. And then your URL structure. So URL should be concise and relevant. Now your off-page SEO, that's essentially going to be what happens outside of the site. So backlinks where you acquire link juice or link equity from another trustworthy source like cdc.gov as an example, or irs.gov. You've got social signals where you engage with your audience. And then you have your online reputation management where you see what kind of online reviews that you receive and mentions, and you can monitor that. If you're constantly getting bad reviews and the rest of the world absolutely hates the brand, that can affect your SEO rankings. So those are things that can happen, again, on page and off page for SEO. And then we've got technical SEO. So that's more like the mobile friendliness optimization, site speed, your site structure, and site security. So you don't have to know how to do all of this. I would recommend bringing someone on that specializes in SEO where they can handle these for you, because again, SEO is a full-time job and it's a part of your larger overarching strategy for digital. And then next, we're going to talk a little bit about digital advertising. I won't go too in depth into the topic for the sake of time, but digital ads can in fact drive traffic to your website, and it's one of the other most effective ways to do that. So again, landing pages, you can build out PPC campaigns, also known as pay-per-click. You can utilize Google campaign ads. You can also utilize social media and display ads. My goal is I want to put my product or service in front of the right target audience based upon their interests, their needs, their behaviors, and I want them to go to my website. So that's the goal. And with that, once they go to my website, then I can nurture that relationship by guiding them through that experience with compelling headlines and titles and graphics and web copy to create that experience where they're considering wanting to buy something. So that's where the ads come in to drive traffic. And then after that, you've got blogs. Blogs are also key when it comes to, again, sharing quality content, the same thing for published articles. So LinkedIn articles, white papers, case studies, those are all pieces of thought leadership content where you get to share your expert opinions and insight and professional feedback with audiences looking for what exactly you can offer them. So with that being said, one of the companies I worked at in the past as senior marketing manager, we specialize in venture building and also venture investing for the world's largest global corporations. We were always writing blogs and LinkedIn articles around startup innovation, venture capital, how large corporations can build game-changing ventures from within, how they can create opportunities for startups to have equity, things like that. So topics people are searching for as it relates to that subject matter, because we want to show that we're subject matter experts. We also had a team of people that work for us that specialize in climate sustainability and metaverse. So me being a marketer, putting on that marketing hat, I want to put as much content out there as possible that makes sense to talk about the metaverse and AI and climate sustainability and climate tech. So if anyone is searching for that, or any of our clients that we're searching for through account-based marketing, they can find us online and consider us for that particular lead. So if they're thinking about building a metaverse startup sometime next year, and they see that we write about it and we share quality content using our expertise and our insight, we've now nurtured that relationship and created more credibility on that topic because we're sharing it. For me, I write blogs about digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and startups. I also usually try to share a LinkedIn article about once a month. And you don't have to do that. Everyone's strategy is different, but I want to make sure, with me being a marketing leader and startup accelerator, you all have access to what my professional insight is, and you can see how I'm thinking about these topics. So you can make a decision of whether or not you want to work with me or utilize my insight or bring me on as a guest speaker or lecturer for an event. So again, blogs, LinkedIn articles, case studies, white papers, they show your insight and what you're able to do as far as your capability as a thought leader, and it allows you to establish brand trust. For podcasts, same thing. Podcasts can drive traffic to the website through podcast promotion and engagement. And again, it allows you to build community, really create conversations with your audience and stand at the forefront of that. And it allows you to have a platform to share some topics that people are actually really interested in. So as a marketer, I may want to create a podcast talking about SEO and the advantages of digital advertising and how AI is helping to revolutionize tech and how digital marketers can be at the forefront of that. Conversations like that people are interested in. When you have a podcast or a blog, as an example, you want to share topics that people are searching for, that has a high search volume and that are trending. If no one cares about those topics, there's really no sense in you sharing it because it's most likely not going to go anywhere. And you want your content to live on for forever. The same thing for SEO. If you're going to write content and put something out there, you want to make sure the content is SEO optimized and that keywords are utilized in that content. Otherwise, no one will see it. So it's like you just wrote that blog for yourself, or you just shared that piece of content for your own personal use. So again, these are all integrated steps. When we share something, we want to make sure our work is SEO optimized and we can create visibility around it and put it in front of our core target audience so they can engage with it, they can see it, they can build trust with us, and they can continue to consider us as they are in our funnel and are considering buying something from us and making a purchase. That brings us to, why do startups struggle to drive engagement? Startups typically struggle to drive engagement, I would say, because they're impatient, number one. And I think it's the art of comparison. They're seeing all these other startups and businesses grow and become viral and have millions of followers, and that's great. But you have to stay authentic to your brand, and you have to focus on what your audience wants and essentially how you can appeal to that. So does your content need to change? Does your SEO strategy need some boosting? Is your website not up to par? Are you struggling with brand building and understanding your identity because it's not resonating with the rest of your audience? Those are things we want to ask ourselves so we can understand how to best drive engagement and drive traffic to the site and get people to trust us. Again, marketing is a dating game. So it's all these different steps that we're taking to essentially court our audience. We're getting to know them. They're getting to know us. And behind the scenes, we're constantly researching them and analyzing what our competitors are doing. But in that relationship, we want to make sure that we're giving people what they want so that we're able to solve a need for them and address their pain points. And that will in turn lead to higher engagements, more conversions, more revenue, more sales, and brands that could actually stick around long term. These are some steps here to help you guys improve engagement in 20 easy steps. So number one, understand your audience. Number two, create captivating content that your audience will find value in. Again, it's not about us, it's about them. Stay consistent when you post content so people know what to expect from you and when to expect it. Use visually compelling graphics that will ignite emotion and obviously drive attention and get people to be reeled in. Encourage user-generated content and brand interaction. You can also host giveaways and contests where appropriate. Use effective hashtags that are appropriate for your content. Engage in conversations and also create conversations where you can be the forefront of that. Host live events and webinars such as LinkedIn Live, I'm having a Blueprint Haus webinar for digital marketing strategy for startups coming up. Also, your brand messaging and your storytelling for narration. That's important. So how you position your brand, how you talk about your brand, what your key messaging is, and essentially what the benefits are so people can buy into that and engage with it. Storytelling is key as well because it's a part of your narration and what you're trying to share with the rest of the world. Data and insights are my favorite. We need to utilize polls and surveys and data insights and opinions and feedback so we can make the best informed marketing decisions and know what to change. You also should conduct A/B testing. Consider building brand partnerships and alliances with reputable partners that already have an audience and a successful reach. Again, analyze your data and your performance to see how well you're doing. Create call to actions. Engage in social listening around your brand to see how the rest of the world perceives your brand and what they think of you. Consider community building so you can build community buy-in and galvanize attention around your brand. Respond to feedback from your audience. I would never leave a review hanging, so always take action if there's a Google review or Yelp review, whether it's positive or negative, and take the PR route where you are sharing a positive response to make things right in the event that something has gone wrong and a customer is unhappy. And then lastly, remain authentic to your brand. So those are ways to drive engagement that are simple and things you all can start doing as early as today. I would next recommend here for the online content process to keep these things in mind. So of all the things we covered today, if I can leave you with probably one last thing, I would share this. When you're creating content that's going to drive engagement and website traffic and clicks, consider your strategy, your creation, and how you're going to market. So your strategy is where you research and you ideate. So you're going to be conducting things like data analysis, market research, keyword planning, building your brand personas, and also SEO research. Your creation is where you write and design content. You also build out your editorial, your content calendar, and your graphics. And you can utilize those areas there on your social, your website, and also in your advertising content. And then consult with your design or creative team for feedback and revisions if needed, so that your content is on brand as far as the messaging and the visuals. And then the marketing piece is how you're going to get it out there and share it with the rest of the world, from publishing, promotion, and then how you're going to analyze and optimize that content. So what channels are we going to use? Is it a multi-channel campaign? What kind of metrics are we looking at? Is it clicks? Is it engagement? Is it website traffic? And essentially how we're going to optimize those campaign efforts to drive the highest results. So keep those things in mind as you build out content so you can drive traffic to the site. Strategy, creation, and marketing. And then after that, at high level, these are the 6 most profound ways to drive engagement. Again, create content that captivates and evokes emotion. Use compelling visuals like graphics, videos, reels, shorts, and carousels. Make sure your content is very easy to read and easy to digest, and that the key information is added up front. People don't want to have to search to figure out what it is that you're doing and what you're trying to share with them. So make sure all that is already there as a top headline, and it's a clear, easy to understand call to action. Leverage trending topics, otherwise known as newsjacking, but be appropriate and sensitive. So as an example, the Israel and Hamas war right now, that is a very popular trending news topic, but it's not appropriate for every brand. If you're not going to talk about it in a positive way to shed light on the incident and to lift people up, you probably want to stay away from that because you could offend people and their families, and it could turn into a PR disaster and nightmare. So if you're going to share a trending topic, make sure it's cohesive with your brand guidelines and your language and content style. And it's not just putting something out there just because it's trending because you want to get more views or expand your reach. It doesn't work that way, and it actually ends up hurting you than helping you. Consider sharing evergreen content. So that's content that lasts forever. And then harness the power of emotions. So those are some of the best ways that you guys can drive engagement starting today. And then here are some other key takeaways when it comes to content engagement and web traffic. Researching, building great captivating content and graphics that are high quality and intrigue interest and grab attention, analyzing data to make the best, most informed marketing decisions, utilizing those key insights, and constantly optimizing your performance so you can boost performance, drive conversions, attract your target audience, and also effectively rank against competitive brands. So those are the things that we should always be doing to keep ourselves up to date and to maximize highly from our digital marketing efforts and strategies. And these are all the things we covered today. We went through digital marketing, the conversion funnel, website traffic, the digital journey, email marketing, social SEO, digital ads, blogs, podcasts, and ways to drive engagement. And then that's it. The next things for me are that I have a digital course that's available for startup strategies. I also have a Blueprint Haus webinar that you guys are welcome to attend if you'd like. I believe that Anna dropped it in the chat. And then you can also subscribe to my email list. I'm always sharing free tips and tools to help startups with their marketing tricks and growth hacks. And you can also reach out to me if you have any questions or would like a free consultation. So those are the next steps. And this is how to stay in touch with me. And I'll also share those links in the chat for you as well. And then here is our Q&A section.
Awesome. Well, Genesis, we have got 2 minutes on the clock, but what an amazing presentation. A whole overview of the whole process. So we really appreciate it. People are saying that they really, really enjoyed this. I don't think that we will have time to get to any questions, but what's one key takeaway based on everything that you've discussed today that you want our audience to take away?
I would say focus on your customers first and identify what they need and what they're searching for. And I'll share with you guys a few tools. You can use Keyword Planner to find relevant keywords that are being searched for online. And then you use those keywords in your SEO strategy. You can also utilize sites like the Hoth as well and Answer the Public to, again, understand audience trends. So you can where they are, and you can be on the appropriate channels. There is a quick question I can probably answer. It says, how can we discover where our customers are? There's tools that you can use to utilize that. One thing you can do is, as an example, if I am a luxury hotel, you're likely to find those same customers on a luxury fashion site, for example, like a Louis Vuitton or Hermes. You can actually run display ads on that other site and drive some of that traffic to your site. So that's one way of finding people. And there's tools to use to find them, but you can go back and market those individuals with digital marketing tactics. So you can utilize that traffic and send them to your site based on a call to action, since the interests and affinities are similar. For
Great.
call to actions.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, no, we're wrapping up on time. I wish we could get to those questions, but if you didn't get your question answered, sign up for a 20-minute consult and Genesis will be able to help. But Genesis, thank you so much for joining us today. And for everyone online, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you online soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks again.